Welcome to Bear Download. I'm Rich Campbell along with Dan Wiederer. Dan, Chicago's draft has come to an end. Finally, a long way. I think it was a big success downtown, having been there for 2 days. It was a lot of fun. Draft town in the theater. But out here at House Hall, where the real business occurred, I think Ryan Pace can feel very satisfied with what he accomplished over these 3 days.
Yeah, I'm exhausted. It was a busy 50 hours.
You picked a lot of guys.
I did, and I went through a lot of profiles to figure out what was happening with this draft. Obviously, the Bears get 6 players here, and everybody wants a letter grade attached to a draft class immediately. Mm-hmm. Saturday night, we've got a draft class. We need a letter grade. I'll give it an IDK. I don't know. We don't know what these guys are. What we know here on day 3 of the draft is the Bears took a running back in Jeremy Langford from Michigan State, a safety in Adrian Amos from Penn State, and then obviously finished things off with the offensive tackle from TCU, whose name you're going to pronounce for us.
Tayo Fabaluje.
Thank you for doing that for us. And what we know is these are guys that Ryan Pace targeted as the top player on their board,
yeah.
And he was after, along with John Fox, smart, passionate, intelligent football players. They feel like they checked those boxes. Now the question is, can these guys contribute on the football field, and if so, how quickly?
Right, and Ryan Pace, I think, was disciplined in sticking to this best player available approach. The fact that the Bears have so many needs really lent itself to that. He could pick just about any position and feel like the team was really improved. 4 offensive players, 2 defensive players. Obviously, you look at the defense and the struggles it has had. I just think you can't forget how badly the offense underachieved last season. And so really, all these players, if they're good, could really help out. You started Kevin White at the top. They need long-term stability at center, and they got that in the 3rd round. And then in the interior, the middle of the defense in the 2nd round. So impact players high in this draft at important positions for them.
Well, and how do you win in the NFL? You have better players. And so I think it is very important to note that Ryan Pace did stay disciplined. Okay, so they didn't wind up with more defensive players than offensive players. They wound up with 4 and 2 on the offensive side of the ball. But by taking the best guy available on your board, you increase your chances of having guys that can stick around. And that's more important than anything in a draft. The Bears feel like they got that done this week. And you commend a general manager who came in here in January and hasn't tried to do too much, hasn't tried to outsmart himself. He hired the head coach that was there for him in John Fox. He didn't get out over his skis in free agency and spend like crazy trying to win now. He was very disciplined in the draft. So in the early stages, at least Ryan Pace is showing the discipline and sort of the patience to let the process unfold.
And I think everybody who follows this team emerges from this weekend with the feeling that the team is still incomplete. For my perspective, I think it just shows you how flawed it was when they turned over the regime in December and Ryan Pace took over. There's a lot of work to get this team back up from 5-11. It's a multi-year process. You're going to have to hope that the draft picks are scouted well, they take care of their business, and I think one thing that we can't forget about here is the coaching staff is really excellent, especially on the defensive side of the ball. The guys that they brought in, and Vic Fangio and his assistants, will bring these players along. I think with Kevin White and the route running concerns that you might have with him out of West Virginia, Mike Groh is an excellent teacher with route running. You've seen it with Alshon Jeffrey, and there's a lot of reason to be optimistic about that.
Well, and you talk about the teachers that they have on the staff, and I think that was one of the selling points of John Fox as a head coach was the guys he was able to attract with him. This is an important 2-month stretch for the Bears. We're not going to learn a whole ton, but they will through the rookie minicamp, through the OTAs, through the minicamp. They're going to have a chance to reconfigure their depth chart a little bit, put guys in different situations, see what they've got, and then by the time you hit training camp, you've got a better feel for where you need to go to get the season started off on the right foot.
Right, and they don't really stop. I mean, the offseason program continues. OTAs later in May. There's going to be a rookie camp. All these rookies, the draft picks, college free agents who are being signed Saturday night and Sunday, they'll be in next weekend at House Hall. We'll be back out here to monitor that. So the building process continues. For Dan Wiederer, I'm Rich Campbell. Hope you enjoyed our draft coverage. Stay tuned to ChicagoTribune.com for more, and we'll see you next time.